everyone. Welcome to another session of this meditative life and a guided meditation. And so just giving people a few minutes to arrive again. And if you're listening to this online, you can just really take a moment to come back to yourself, to sit here and be with yourself. And just looking at what your inner world is like in this moment. Okay, so it looks like sound is here, sound is happening. And so with that, I think I will begin. So, continuing on with this topic of how our innate well-being are these qualities of awareness, love, compassion, wisdom, can really be called upon in the throes of communication. And I have a short teaching that hasn't been uploaded yet on this topic, so I will just briefly say a little bit more than I might normally on a guided meditation. So these qualities of love and compassion are, to me, really key in having wise communication, because they help us to be in touch with our own hearts and to be in touch with who we're communicating with, as far as being able to see them as a fellow living being, being able to know that they are just like us in their own desire to be happy and free from suffering. And as we know, these are qualities of love and compassion. And so that with the quality of love, and it's like just touching in, seeing this is a being who, like you, wants to flourish, wants to be well in their lives, that they too really have this innate desire for this, and that even though they want that, they also, like you, get confused. And so if we can if we can see them in this way, it helps us, we see the human being, it helps us to feel a warmth of connection, it helps us to be present with them. It helps us to keep our minds open to seeing where difficult conversations can go, what we can all learn from them, how they can be a creative process. So, that I use this phrase, they're just like me, to help me to remember. And then doing simple things like really looking into their eyes, just seeing how can I have a sense of this person right now. And this relates to the practice that we're going to do today, which is really exchanging self and other. So what we're going to be doing as we do this practice is I'm going to invite you to bring different people to mind. And as you do so, you're going to step into their shoes and really look at the world through their eyes and then look back towards you. And this, for me, is just such a great practice in really helping to open my own perspective, helping me to step out of that small lens of how I might see the world, and really be able to letting my mind look from another perspective. And so I find this quite a powerful practice. If you haven't done it before, you may find at times it's a bit much, and that if that's the case, remembering that you have agency, that you can just rest in open awareness if that feels right, or as we might do in communication. The other aspect of communication is love and compassion for oneself, knowing that this is hard. and really having that sense of tenderness. We can offer the phrases of love and compassion to ourselves. May I be happy, may I be free from suffering, or you could rest in open awareness. But this is a practice that I think, if we learn it formally, in a difficult moment of conversation, then, you can just for even a moment step into the other person's shoes, get a sense of what they're feeling, and look towards yourself and see what they might be seeing. So this, I just think this is quite a valuable practice to both do in formal meditation and in other moments informally, to help us broaden our horizon, to help us open to diversity, to stay engaged in difficult conversations. Okay, so this practice will be for this one will be about 20 minutes again. And so find a comfortable posture where your spine is upright, and that you can invite a sense of relaxation and ease in your muscles. And just connecting with the experience of sitting. In doing so, we can let go of the busyness of our day, all that we've been doing, and simply feel the sensations in our bodies. And then taking a moment to reflect on your aspiration for meditation. How through meditation, it's really a way of calling these beautiful qualities of awareness, love, compassion, wisdom, calling them into being, into fruition, recognizing them. A way of getting in touch with our true nature. And we can hold the aspiration that this could help other beings. Just opening our hearts to the vastness of potential of this moment, and turning our minds in a healthy way. And then taking a few moments to rest in open awareness. Putting down all of the doing and simply be while the senses are wide open. Anytime we get lost in thought, knowing this is natural, normal, but in seeing this is awareness, and we can simply let be. And then, as we move to the main practice today, we'll be using this faculty of imagination. And first, we're going to bring to mind somebody whom we see as a peer, or somebody having equal status to us. This could be a friend, maybe somebody we work with, but somebody whom we feel that they're pretty well matched with us. And so get a visual image or felt sense of this person. And then imagining the different ways that they look for happiness and how they attempt not to suffer in their lives. And then stepping into their shoes and imagine yourself as them. It's what the world looks like through their eyes. Their pursuit of happiness and freedom from suffering. And then as you feel yourself as being them, look back at yourself. And as you do so, actually imagine that you're comparing them as you're experiencing them to your real self. And see if you can conjure up a sense of pride that they might have, or a sense of competitiveness. And just feel that energy of trying to be better than the real you. The comparing mind. And then rest for a few moments in open awareness. Just let everything be as it is. And then bringing to mind someone whom you might feel is less than you, or it might be someone whom in your world, you have some power over whether or not you feel like you misuse that or not. And again, reflecting on how in their lives they want to be happy and free from suffering. And then imagining yourself as them. Maybe they work under you. And then looking back towards yourself and experiencing something they might feel. Maybe they're jealous. They'd like to be doing what you're doing. They have envy. Maybe they have this idea that you're something wonderful, great. But just see if you can look towards, from their perspective, you. Maybe it's someone serving you in a restaurant. Or someone whom you just feel pity for. Remembering pity is not compassion. Someone who's on the street and sees you as rich, wealthy. You have everything. Just feeling what that feels like. And again, letting go of the reflection and rest in open awareness. Any feelings are present, just let them be. And now, bringing to mind someone who's better off than you. It may be the person who supervises you at work. Or it may be people in your neighborhood whom have big and more beautiful houses, cars, or have jobs that you'd love to have. stepping into their shoes, looking at the world through their eyes. They might be filled with a sense of pride, accomplishment, superiority. And looking towards you, what would they see? Would they see you as someone inferior, who didn't work hard enough, isn't as good as them? And as you do so, also being aware of what it's like to be seeing the world in this way. The pain of pride. Just imagining how everything this person does, there would be this lens. And letting go of the reflection and simply rest in open awareness. And then just taking a moment to reflect on how there is suffering in these people, that there is this universality of suffering, of pain. When we're caught in comparing, seeing others as less than, or feeling superior to. This suffering is universal. It's easy to be confused. When we remember how hard it is to be a living being, it helps us to access this compassion. have the wisdom in the moment to respond in the best way we have access to. And then, as we conclude this practice, just holding in our hearts this wish that all of our effort, our energy that we've put into this practice, to trying to recognize our true nature, this can ripple out into the world and help to diminish the suffering, the anguish of all living beings. Okay. So, as I mentioned, there is going to be a short teaching on communication, love, and compassion posted shortly, and that this particular practice, I don't know, it really does help to see that there is, just such suffering in the ways that we can hold people in this objective way of not really coming back, being grounded, seeing them as living beings, connecting from our hearts, even when it's challenging. So I invite you to do this practice, both in formal meditation and in your daily life. Just take that moment, look from another perspective, from this living being, touch into the suffering they might be feeling in that moment. And just see what you learn from it. And I'd love to hear your comments too. So whether you're here now or whether you are watch this later, always feel free to make a comment or a question that comes up from doing this practice. Anything that's not clear, please feel free to be a live, living, engaged member of this community. Thank you.